Hi and good evening and welcome to THFC on this lovely Saturday evening. 3 points for Spurs. We beat Wolverhampton Wanderers 1-0 today at the Tottenham Hotspurs Stadium and we're still unbeaten in the league. Good result. Well, bad first half, better second half, but we'll get into that tonight. And with me, I've got two brilliant guests. my usual co-host, this man, you would if he was in the dressing room with Conte, he would put the fear of God in the players before they went out on the pitch in the first half. He is the Godfather. He is the main man on this channel. It's the one and only Philip Brady. How are you, Philip?
Yeah, great, Dermot. Good to be on after another victory.
Yeah,
It's always easy to talk after a win and a defeat.
It is. If we go through a defeat, we'll have to get Leo to put his stats board up and we'll have to go through it bit by bit.
Yeah.
And down below, this man, well, he needs no introduction. He is the host of our sister station in America channel. He is the one and only. He is the pride of Denver on Colorado Spurs. Is one and only Leo Coys. How are you, Leo, this evening, sir?
What's up, gentlemen? I'm doing very good. Like Philip said, when we get 3 points, it's a good day. It's kind of hard not to be happy, especially after, beating a Wolves team that, let's be honest, you guys, it's not a walkover. They're not a pushover
No.
team. So we fought hard and we got the 3 points. Like a team that strives to be champions, they have to win games like this. So I'm glad we did that because we're on the right track.
Yeah, we definitely are. I just want to say big up to Paul Brown in the chat. Says it's evening or Coys. Big up, Paul. Thank you. And also big up to Mick Harmlick as well. So good evening, Leo, Dermot, and Philip. Good evening, Leo. And we have Jula. This is Ellie's niece. Good evening, all. Is me Auntie Ellie still out? Yeah, she's out partying. Yeah, she's somewhere in the East End, probably down the Tiger Club and the nightclub somewhere down there, having a few pints and dancing to the disco music. So big up, United Spurs for America, big up, lads. I hope you're well. Thank you for popping in. And also Chris Dermot, the Godfather, Philip Brady, and Leo, big up, Chris. And
Chris still not banned.
Yeah, I'm still not banned. Give it time, Chris. You will be. All right. By the end of the week, yeah, it is. By the end of the weekend, Chris, you will get banned from Twitter by saying something. Winks would set you off. Right. I will put something on Twitter that will set you off. I'm going to lay my trap later for you, Chris, and you will fall into it. Oh, Lord. I'm big up Mick as well. She said big up Chris. Yeah, guys, I'll start with you, Philip. We're still unbeaten. We're I think I read somewhere we're 13 games unbeaten. So far from the end of last season and the start of this season. 1 defeat in 9. I know we didn't play well today, but surely we're still unbeaten. That breeds confidence, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, today was always going to be a tricky game. Like we saw last season, Dermot, when we were over there. Well, what a technically good team Wolves are.
Yeah.
Now, and they really played well back in February, whenever that was. And today, they carried on where they left off, basically, in the first half. And we were a wee bit too passive. I think we paid them too much respect. We let them come at us. We let them dominate the ball. We weren't pressing. We weren't. A speed of passing out of defence was woefully slow again, And I said to David earlier on there on one show, I says, Conte should give his halftime team talks before the team goes out at the start of the match. It might save us a lot of 45 minutes of angst and worry, because that's what it was. I mean, I wouldn't have been surprised if Wolves scored in that first half. They damn nearly did with that header from that new fella they got. But as I kept saying, second half, it was always going to be different. And like Chelsea, it was, but more so. We actually won this one.
Yeah. Leo, as I said to Philip, the first half bad, second half better. But we're picking up points playing bad. Does that give you confidence that we will get something this season if we're playing like this?
Yeah, well, that question there, is a toss of the coin, because either side of the coin is a good, is a good answer. I really think that we've been playing bad. I agree. But the fact that we're able to grind out these results playing bad is what's showing our character. Now, if we're going to roll over and let them do us like that, then that's a different story. Then I could say I'm really worried about it. I'm worried in the sense that we need to be starting off our game with a halftime talk at the beginning of the game. I agree. But guys, it's better late than never.
Yeah.
Let's pick up the points. Let's pick up the win. Let's pick up the draw. However, it's better late than never. It's better than dropping all points. So, in that point, I'm not worried. But on the flip side of the token, I am worried.
That's only
Yeah.
the second time Wolves have lost twice at the Spurs Stadium in recent years. They have a very good record. That this fixture is actually an away team's dream. There's only a couple of home wins in the whole last sequence of about 10 matches.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
Yeah.
so they was always going to be tricky. But what I liked
Yeah.
was when they came out for the second half, within 30 seconds, we had the ball over I think it was a shot or a deflection wide. We showed more intention in the first minute of the second half than we did pretty much in the entire first half. So I knew then Conte got at them. He got inside their heads. And what came after that was much, much better. In fact, only for the woodwork, it could have been 3-0, which would have been very harsh on Wolves, but I don't care. How often have we dominated games and got beaten last minute or near the end? So, Kane was unlucky with a header, Son was unlucky, and we showed our mettle in the second half. And there's still a lot of work to be done. I think the midfield is our problem area at the moment because Betancourt and Højbjerg were overran in the first half.
Yeah.
Now they got their act together more in the second half, and Perisic came into it in the second half, and he was absolutely brilliant, superb.
Yeah.
So,
I put this question to you, Philip, actually, and then you, Leo. Chris is saying the ref was against us. Looked like they've been told to screw us as much as possible. The referee today, in my opinion, was diabolical.
He was completely and utterly out of his depth.
Yeah,
he is a championship referee, and he shouldn't be back. He should be back in the championship next week. I lost count of the times. There was one particular push in the back of Son, about 5 yards outside their penalty area. The whole ground saw it, except the referee. Then 5 seconds later, there's a minimal contact on the Wolves player, free kick to Wolves. He gave us absolutely nothing. There was ironic cheers when he gave us one free kick.
I heard that.
Why do they give us these guys? Why do they try them out on Spurs?
Yeah, is there a new law in that the referees are supposed to give more lenient, let more challenges go in, guys? Or
but you've got to keep it level for both teams. Don't let one team get away with it and the other one not, which is what he did today. He penalised Spurs for everything and let Wolves get away with it.
Yeah,
I know that's probably biased.
He was not blowing that whistle right.
No.
Well, it's a fair shout. It's a fair shout, Philip. He was not blowing the whistle the way he should have been blowing the whistle.
No, he wasn't. And I know what's his name, Simon Hooper. To be honest, I'd never even heard of him up to today.
It's his first game.
His first game.
It's the first time blowing it. Well, it's the first game. It's the first time blowing a game for Tottenham.
Yeah, well, hopefully it's the last. We don't want to get like Chelsea and get a petition going that we don't want him refereeing our matches anymore. But he's got a lot to learn, really. The Wolves players were too cute for him today.
Yeah. Well, at least we didn't have Mike Dean there, which is a blessing in itself. We've got Julius here, but we looked very leggy in that game. Conte's working them hard.
Yeah.
Son was missing again. Perisic was superb. I'm glad Romero wasn't playing, as that ref would have shown him a red card. Well, a bit on that, Romero wanted to play today. He actually did. He went to Conte during the week. I want to play against Wolves on Saturday. Yeah. And it's Conte said, no, we'll give you a week, get over your injury, come back next week. He
Probably wise. Wise. You come back too soon, you get injured again very quickly. So
yeah, and I do have Conte's quotes from his press conference, and that was one of the questions. I'll start with you, Leo, and then I go to you, Philip. I'll start on the Son bit, and I want to go to us looking leggy with you, Philip. Leo, Son was missing again today. What's gone wrong with Son at the start of the season? Is it too much off the field stuff? Or is it a reaction from the end of last season? Or is it a combination of everything?
Look, guys, I wish I knew. I can. It's blatant to everybody. I can notice that he's. I don't want to say a step behind, but his first touch is a little off. I think maybe his confidence there is starting to play tricks on his mind. I I can't really pin it to one certain thing. I know he's been really busy outside of the pitch, doing a lot of promoting and doing a lot of model work and stuff like that. I can't necessarily blame it on that. You know, these guys are professional athletes. They have one thing to do as their job, and they should be focused on their job. However, I also know they got to make a living outside of football, and I know that they do all this publicity work in order to do that. Um, but guys, it's always a possibility to just be burnt out. You know, maybe Son has just set the bar so high in his Tottenham career. And this is not, you know, I'm not saying this is what's happening at all, but it's always a possibility. I mean, you guys, Dele Alli was at such a peak one point in his Tottenham career, and then from his peak, he started going down and down and down and down. I'm not wishing this for Sonny. I'm just saying it's always a possibility that may have already seen the best of Sonny, and it's not going to continue. Do I want that to happen? No, I want Sonny to continue being the Sonny we all know and love. But that's worrisome. Sonny's gameplay is worrisome. You know, if you were to ask me, I think maybe next week he should become off as a sub. Just for the game. I'm not talking about benching him permanently. I think maybe he just needs, maybe it's not rest, maybe it is rest. Maybe it's his ego, maybe it's not. Maybe it's his confidence, maybe it's not. Let's try something new. Let's give him some time to come off the bench next week and see if that could help him. You know, coming on later on in the game when your opponents are already a little bit leggy, you might have the upper hand. You get yourself a goal in that game, it might boost your confidence. You know, I think that they just need to. At the end of the day, you guys, nobody's unbenchable. You know, it could just be a combination of things, you guys.
Yeah, I mean, that's true there. I mean, with the leggy part of it, Philip, I know we spoke for a little bit today. Do you think Conte's worked them too hard in training, or is this them getting used to his level of fitness, which they need to get to?
It's possible it's a reaction from the hard pre-season. It's possible, you know. But I don't think it's permanent. I think it'll pass. What I do think we've got with Son at the moment is I think we've got a mirror image now, albeit for vastly different reasons, to Harry Kane same time last season. When Harry Kane was involved in this, is he going to City? Is he not going to City debacle? He wasn't playing. He wasn't the Harry Kane that we'd all love and to see scoring goals. Now, as soon as Conte walked into the club, Harry came back. I think Son is just having a reaction. Every player has it. Jimmy Greaves used to talk about going off form, and Jimmy Greaves was very flippant about it. He says, I went through a patch when I wasn't scoring goals once, and it really worried me. He said, it was the worst 20 minutes of my life. That was the way Jimmy Greaves carried it off. But I remember Jimmy Greaves having poor patches.
Yeah.
Every player has them. I mean, you cannot. Form is temporary, but class is permanent. And Son will be back. No, I think he should be put on the bench for Forest. Give Richarlison a chance to show what he can do, because he showed great promise today when he came on with his running and his power and his strength. So give Son a rest. Not being benched. We need squad rotation because we've got European
rotation.
Rotation.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Philip. It's just rotation. It's no bias. It's no criticism. It's not dropping him. Yeah, you're right. It's just, guys, we've brought in extra players so that we can move it around, and that's all it is. You know, that's all it is.
Yeah,
I mean,
Champions League draw coming up next Thursday.
Yeah,
that is going to be 6 more matches to be played before Christmas, on top of our already heavy schedule. So there has to be. This is why we're getting together such a big squad.
Yeah,
like last season we wouldn't be able to cope with all those matches. This season we'll have to.
I mean, we've got Julius saying here, Son started acting up since Klopp whispered in his ear. Maybe not, but maybe that might have something to do with it. And Chris is saying Sonny is off form, so rest him. Yeah, I think
give him a game off. Give him a game off. Give him a hug and give him a game off.
Yeah.
And tell him he's a brilliant player. We love him, but this time just to recharge the battery. Imagine having him as an impact sub. Say we're not doing so well against Forest.
Yeah.
Bringing him on.
Fresh legs. You know, I'm glad you guys agree, because I put that into a chat earlier today, and I just about got crucified by somebody for saying that, you know, and it's no bias against him. It's just, guys, let's be real, it's the truth.
We've been realistic, and you know, Sonny's going to play 55, 60 matches this season. Well, so what if he misses a couple of them? just to get
Yeah.
his head back together again. I'll tell you one thing. I'd say he's gone home tonight and his dad's given him a right rollicking for that performance today, because his father is his harshest critic.
Yeah, you're right.
That's so true. This is what Conte had to say about Christian, and I said to you about he wanted to play today. Christian had a little problem during the game against Chelsea in the final part of the game, but it's a little problem. He said after the game he started to feel a bit of pain in his
Abductor.
But then he said he wanted to continue on to this quote is he wanted to play today. I mean, that shows the commitment from Romero.
Don't you just love that? You absolutely love that, because he knows Romero is the heart and soul of that team. He's our new Dave Mackay, in my opinion.
He is. I agree with you. And this is something I want to get on to now about the match today. Now, Dave, I watched Dave's show earlier, and please, everyone get over to the Irish Hotspurs, one of the best channels on YouTube. Him, Dave Harris, and Jack Konecki. I go on there. Philip is one of the regulars on there, as well as myself, and Leo's in the chat, always there. It was on about Sanchez, and the amount of people in the chat were blaming take Holberg off, take Bentancur off. And this is why I come up with this question. I'll start with you, Philip, and then I'll go to you, Leo, with this. And please put it in the chat what you think of this question as well, your answer to this. Philip, why do you think some of the fan base don't blame Sanchez and Dyer, but will blame Holberg and Bentancur when it is Dyer and Sanchez that are making the mistakes?
I honestly do not know. As I said to you earlier before we started, the amount of hate against Højbjerg in the chats after the match today, and Son, there was a lot of hate against Son as well.
Yeah.
I just cannot understand it. I mean, I'm going to be very controversial here, and I reckon most of the people that are blaming Sanchez and Dyer would criticize them if they both scored hat-tricks in the same game.
Yeah.
They just have it in for them regardless whatever they do, which is not fair. Every player should be judged on his own performance. Now, I'm a great advocate, and I've said this on numerous channels. At the start of every season, everybody gets a clean slate. And whether you blot your copybook or go on to greatness, it's entirely up to you. 3 games in is not long enough to start slagging off. Sanchez did okay today. He wasn't great. He nearly got caught out badly at the end of the first half with letting the ball bounce off the back of his neck that nearly let the Wolves player in. He certainly wasn't the worst. He made a couple of good interceptions. He was fast. He got backtracked. He covered his men. He wasn't the worst. Neither was Eric Dyer. But I just do not know. I think the hatred has been there since maybe last season or the season before, when things weren't going well, and it's just carried forward. And people just don't let go. I'll ask people to please be more sympathetic to players. Like how would you do if you were sitting on a football pitch and Adama Traore was running at you at 20 miles an hour? What would you do? People don't realize that these guys are humans. They make mistakes. We all make mistakes. Well, they're not allowed to make mistakes. They make a mistake, they fight.
But the problem, Philip, I'm trying to make is how many times in the past have Dyer and Sanchez made mistakes? And it's been Holberg who's got the blame.
I can't figure that one out. It's as if, I don't know, maybe somebody's got an anti-Danish, doesn't like Danish people, or doesn't like, what's Bentancur, Uruguayan?
Yeah.
They don't like. I just don't know. Or maybe it's just to say they have to have a scapegoat. And who's our scapegoat this week? Oh yeah, we'll pick on Højbjerg. I mean, it's not fair.
It's just ignorance. It's just ignorance, you guys.
But I didn't like.
You
to
could
say
it's.
I mean, to me, those people that do that, they're not real fans.
No,
they're quasi fans. They're fans of Spurs this week, and I might move on to Chelsea next week if they're not doing too well. No, I can't condone it. I can't understand it really. Why? No. When one player makes a mistake, another one gets the blame.
Yeah,
it's a team game. It's a team game.
You win together, you lose together, you do whatever together. I mean, Chris put it here: Sanchez and Dyer are poor. Let's get it right. But who do we play? But Holberg in the first half was poor. So was Bentancur on this occasion. Sonny deserves criticism because he was poor.
He was. Yeah.
So and Duran's put here, Holberg is a leader. He's very vocal as well. We need him on the pitch. For me, he can be a captain. And I agree with that. I think Holberg can be a captain. Holberg is very much, as you put it, Philip, our Dave Mackay. He will put
Yeah.
the foot in
Oh.
there when we need to.
I think Romero's more Dave Mackay. I think Højbjerg's at Graham Roberts.
Yeah.
You know, the best way of putting it. But you see the run Højbjerg made in the second half there. He ran 60 yards on his own with the ball. Over to the right-hand side there and held it up and got a throw in at it. When it was a lost cause, nobody could keep up with him. I mean, he busted gut for the team today. He really did. And the fact that BT made him man of the match, surely you don't give man of the match if he was so poor as some of the fans make out that he was.
No. I mean, Leo, yourself, I mean, same question to you. Why do you think some of the fan base don't blame Sanchez and Dyer, but will blame Holberg? Why do you think some of them will say, oh, if Sanchez makes a mistake, oh, it's okay, but if Holberg makes a mistake, he gets crucified? Why do you think some of the fan base are like that?
Yeah, I think this could have part to do with it. Is a lot of people probably hold Højbjerg to a higher standard and expect more of Højbjerg. So when he doesn't really perform to somebody's set standards, then they feel the right to criticize him, as opposed to maybe not setting the bar so high for Sanchez and Dyer. That could be a possibility. One thing I will say, and I've said this recently a couple of times already, is ever since I've got to know Ellie and I got to talk to her and I see the way she loves Højbjerg, I pay more attention to Højbjerg on and off of the ball, and I pay attention to his actions, and I pay attention to the way he does boss that midfield, and I'm more vigilant of his performances. So I have been realizing that he is a captain material there in the middle of the pitch. Excuse me. As to why he gets criticism and these other two don't in the back, like I said, I think it's just down to we hold maybe these guys to a higher standard. I mean, for example, Rodrigo Bentancur, when he's got the ball, he's not afraid to dance around people. You know, he's got some very, very, very smooth feet. He's got some moves in his closet that are yet to be seen. So I think maybe a lot of, like I said, people just expect more from these two guys. And when they really don't live up to the expectations brought upon by somebody else, a fan, like you said, that maybe are just fans for today and not fans tomorrow, then it's unfair. It's an unfair comparison, and it's unfair to blame somebody in the back when really, guys, like you guys said, it's a team effort. At the end of the day, it's 11 men on the field, not 11 Højbjergs or not 11 Bentancurs. So it's unfair if you ask me. It's really unfair. Collectively, the team should be graded as a team. But I know, and sometimes, you guys, I'm guilty of it myself by singling out players. But yeah, I mean, I think sometimes maybe it's just ignorance on the part of the fair weather fan.
You know, well, it looks like from next week on, anyway, Sanchez will probably go back to the bench and we'll have Romero back, which means there's going to be Eric Dyer to take the. We'll be getting his mistakes.
And guys, let's be honest, guys. Sanchez did not have a bad game today. No, he came in and did what we expected him to do. Right? He did not. He like you mentioned, the ball came off the back of his neck. He tried to head it in. You know, he had an effort on it. It didn't work out. That's how it goes. But he didn't have a woeful game.
There was another at the other end of the first half, and the ball bounced over him. The Wolves player with him. He tried to, I think, guide it back to Lloris, and he didn't. And the Wolves player got a shot away. I think that's the one that most people were criticising him for today. But other than that, maybe he should have made contact with that cross in the second half to score. It must have just grazed his forehead. You know, it just didn't seem to. I don't know how he missed it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But,
you guys, I mean, he wasn't woeful.
He was an adequate substitute for Romero, really.
Yeah.
That's the best way you could put it, you know.
I mean, I was waiting for him to make his mistake, I must admit. When I see him on the team sheet, my heart sinks, because I know between him or Dyer, one of them will cock off. And you just wait, and you wait, and then when it comes off the back of your neck, you're thinking, oh, Lord Jesus, here we go again. But I just feel it's unfair that if they do have a bad game, and their passing out from the back is atrocious. They're
Yeah, well,
passing back.
that's where Romero comes in, and that's where Longley
Yeah.
will come in. Longley and Romero are ball-playing centre backs, which is what we need. It's what Liverpool have, and that's what made Liverpool partially so successful. Is
Yeah.
they can clear the ball from
Yeah.
the back accurately and without giving the ball away too often, you know. And plus the fact, another thing we don't have at the back, and unfortunately, much as I love him, Hugo Lloris is not a ball-playing goalkeeper.
No.
Hugo Lloris's distribution at times can be woeful. So it's just a pity he can't bring the Alisson's, passing techniques into his undoubted qualities as a shot stopper. But there's times when Hugo has the ball at his feet, I close my eyes because I don't know where it's going to end up.
I mean, guys, what do you say to Chris here? I mean, whoever wants to take this, take it. Problem is when we play two midfield, it exposes Holberg and Bentancur. We maybe need a formation change and bring Basuma in to make it 3 midfield. I mean, who wants to go first on that? You or Philip or Leo? Yeah, go on, Leo. You take that.
Yeah. Right on. So I did notice that Hoiberg was coming up more in the pitch. He was advancing more offensively, which did leave a big space in between him and our center backs. So I'm definitely all for switching up our formation and maybe going a 3-5-2. I don't know exactly how versatile our formation can get by having three in the middle there. If that means we go to 4 in the back, or if we stay with Conte's, traditional 3. But you guys, I would. There's only one benefit. There's only one outcome by having 3 midfielders, and that's to benefit another man. We're getting another man in the middle there, which is what we're getting overran by, you guys. These teams, Wolves, Burnley, all these other teams that just stack the midfield, they always boss us. They always boss us in the midfield. Now, if we can have 3 midfielders, which is what I've been crying for this whole season, we might look better. But it comes with a price because we will have to sacrifice either a Sonny on the side or a Kulu on the side and only have 2 attackers up front. So it definitely changes our formation. So it's, you gotta weigh the goods and the bads, which one is the better option?
Well, I hope that answered your question, Chris, and big up for bringing it in.
Good
And
answer,
we're
Leo.
joined now some fella from Australia. Look at him, nice and sunny there. Like rubbing it in a little bit. How are you, sir, down the bottom there?
You woke me out of my bed, Dermot.
Oh, Jesus. You sure she didn't kick you out of the bed?
I could say that if there was a she, Dermot, but there isn't.
Yeah. Wink, wink, nod, nod. How are you, William, anyway? What did you think
I'm
of
very
today's
good.
game?
I'm very good.
Yeah.
Sorry, man.
What did you think of today's game?
Oh, geez. Do you really want my honest opinion?
Yeah. Can I just say,
shocker.
please beware, swearing may offend you. Carry on.
Yeah. No, I won't swear. It was a shocker. It was a shocking performance. Yeah. Dyer and Sanchez and Davies, I do not want to see the 3 of them together. They are a disaster. They really are. Like what David Harris said, anytime a ball comes over the top of Sanchez, the guy doesn't know where he is. It's like he almost gets lost. It just scares me every time they're on the field. It really does. You can get away with Romero in there with Dyer and Davies. You know what I mean? You can just about get away with it. But when you put Sanchez into that mix, they are shocking. They are desperately bad.
But until we sign the centre back, we're stuck with 1 or 2 of them. You're not going to see the back
definitely,
of them.
Yeah. And I understand that, Philip. I understand that, but we can't play Sanchez, Dyer, and Davies together. It's just not.
But hopefully, we won't have
possible.
to anymore. Romero should be back for the next match, so that will take Sanchez out of the equation.
But why wasn't Longley put on there yesterday?
Because he's not a right-sided, but he's a left-sided centre back.
Yeah, I don't think he's fully fit yet.
Yeah, but I'd have taken Davies off. Davies was no better. Why not put Longley in there? At least he's a ball-carrying defender. He'll bring the ball out quicker. Dyer, for me, he stands on the football and he's like, what the hell's he doing? Get the ball moving quicker. But we're being overrun in midfield badly, very badly. Overrun in midfield.
I'm not speaking up for the centre backs, but I'm going to defend them slightly, in so much as to say every cross that went into our box today was dealt with. Every cross that went in was dealt with. You know, that's
But do you not feel?
I'm not using that as an excuse or a defence, but I'm just
But
saying.
no,
Other games, that's not the
I
case.
understand what you're saying, Philip. But do you still not feel nervous every time the ball goes in
Of
there?
course I do. I'm not defending them. What I'm saying is they weren't so totally useless that we lost every ball in the air to Wolves. We didn't. They did their
but there was
business.
a couple of balls there that there was a couple of ones that were like, if you look at throughout that match, especially that first half, like a couple of true balls where Sanchez and Dyer were just taken completely out of the game. And if the
There was
right
one
ball
case,
had went through,
there was
like
one when
if
they
you
went near.
if
What do
you
you call
analyze the last two matches, Philip, if both those teams had a top class striker, we were annihilated in the first half.
Yeah, I'm not arguing with you.
You know?
But what I'm just trying to say is that Davis
I
was
have a
badly called
question,
out.
William.
Hang on,
Do you
Leo.
think
Leo.
maybe the way that our midfield is getting bossed kind of
Leo.
has an impact on the way our defense?
Yeah, can you just let Philip finish his point and then?
No, sorry, let him go. Let him go. It's
Go
okay.
on,
Let him
go
go.
on,
Let him
go
go.
on,
Let him go. Go on.
Yeah, go on.
Sorry, Philip. I couldn't hear you. You were talking. I'm sorry, brother.
Go on. Go on. No problem. Go ahead.
Go on.
Yeah, I do.
So-
I do. I definitely think it has something to do with it as well.
Yeah,
I mean, I
because
don't understand why Conte is sort of persistent with it too when he knows there's obviously issues there. I don't understand why Basuma's coming on in the 84th minute. Like, that makes no sense to me, to be honest with you. I would have him on the field a lot sooner.
I agree with you, William.
I think it should have
I think the
happened.
fact that sorry, Philip, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think what really should have happened though, when when the wing backs saw how much of pressure the two midfielders were under, they should have tucked in. They should have tucked in and helped them a wee bit and helped we were overrun in the first half in that game. Now in the second half, they got their act together. Whatever way they did it, they were able to push Wolves back, and Wolves were okay. Wolves, count the number of shots Hugo had to save in the second half. None.
Yeah, no, there was definitely a change, but it is a bit.
Formation in the second half that worked wonders. We were much more fluid. We were passing the ball much quicker. We were hitting the ball first. We weren't hanging on to it. We were getting rid of it. You know, push, pass, run, and it worked. And let's face it, we could have won that game 3-0, which would have been a total just injustice to Wolves. But that's football. You know, that's football.
It is football. Look, don't get me wrong. I'm glad we won. Okay, I don't care how we win, as long as we win. Yeah, but the thing is, you have to analyze the game at the end, and what you're watching in that first half, it's not good. You know, it's scary.
I mean, that was a team. Sorry, Philip. That was a team that got us to the Champions League last season. Apart from Perisic, who I thought had a brilliant second half, by the way. I thought he came out. I mean, Philip, I'll start with this question with you, and then I go to Leo, and then you, William. I mean, we've had 3 games. We've got 7 points from our first 3 games. Are you? I mean, I'm over the moon with 7 points. We're unbeaten. Okay, we're playing badly, but we're picking up wins. We got a good point away at Chelsea last Sunday, which we didn't deserve to get anything out of, but we picked up a point.
Yeah.
I mean, are you? I mean, I'm happy. Are you happy with 7 points for the first 3 games?
I would have been happy with 12 from the first 5 games.
Yeah.
And I would have discounted the Chelsea game as a loss because that's the way it normally happens. As it happens, it didn't happen this year.
Yeah.
So, I'm happy because A, we're not playing well and we're still getting results. We're grinding out the results. Now, that will decrease as time goes on, as Conte gets his ideas across, as the new players get used to the system and get used to the way we play. So, I mean, we could very easily only have 3 points.
Yeah,
very easily only have 3 points. And probably if we only did have 3 points, we couldn't argue, because we didn't play against Chelsea for 90% of the game, and we didn't play against Wolves for 60% of the game. But we came out with 4 points from that game. Now, there's always an old saying in football: a good team can play badly and win.
Yes,
I think that's what we are morphing into at the moment. A team that never says die. Never say die. and we'll keep at it. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
I remember the Liverpool team of the 80s.
Yeah.
And I remember I used to watch them a lot because my brother is a Liverpool supporter. And you saw that team, like, they would play bad and they would just win all the time.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, Philip. I mean, you me remember that, and William remember the 80s of the Liverpool and the Man United teams.
Yeah.
And Leo, you probably just won't remember like the Liverpool of the 80s and that, because you weren't even a twinkle in your daddy's eye then. But we remember them teams like in the 80s and churned out results. I mean, Liverpool won the league one year with 14 players.
Yeah.
Let's put that into perspective. 14 players, including the Champions League run as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you look at now, has football changed in so much that
huge.
How we used to play? I mean, we were the entertaining team of the 80s, Tottenham. Well, we were, we had Glenn Hoddle, Chris Waddle, we had Gaza. We were the entertaining team. Always do well. I think on the Venables 1 year we finished third in the league, won a trophy. Has football now become too defensive and too defensive that you've got to have a great defense to win championships or silverware now, where the fast flowing football is sort of gone now? I'll start with you on that, Philip, and then go to you, William, then you, Leo.
Like, I mean, I'm no fan of theirs, but Manchester City probably they've got a reasonably good defense. I wouldn't say they have a great defense, but what they have got is got great attackers.
Yeah.
And that's their strength. Liverpool probably are the best all-round team. They've got a very good defense and a very good attack. It pains me to say that because I'm not a fan of Liverpool by any means. And I think what's mostly changed football in England since the 80s is the advent of all the foreign players.
Yeah.
If you look at it back in the 80s, there was only a sprinkling of players from abroad, which we started the trend with Ardiles and Villa. Then gradually the numbers get bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's only really since the turn of this century, I think, that the foreign players have really started to dominate. Like if you look at any team in the Premiership now, the chances are there are more foreign-born players in it than homegrown. Like watching Watford there, for example, watching a team in the African Nations Cup. And we're not too far behind. If you count up the number of foreign players in our squad, we've 17. That's one of the biggest changes there's been in the football. And they brought with them their foreign continental styles of playing football, which is like, in the 70s and 80s, it was 4-2-4 or 4-3-3, and that was it. They are consigned to the dustbin of history now.
Yeah.
If you play 4-2-4, you might as well have a dinosaur on your back, So that's one of the biggest changes. The continental players have changed the way we play it. Yeah. For good or bad, it's for good because it's increased the profile of the game. It's increased the standard of the game as well, And it's really survival of the richest now.
Yeah,
really. Survival
That's true.
I mean, Leo, I remember the Aussie dealers time, the Christmas tree formation, 5 up front. Well, it was 10 up front and 1 defender.
And Stuart
we've told this story before, Leo, and I will say to you, but Aussie dealers had his first meeting with the Spurs team. And his meeting was everyone get the ball to Teddy and everyone attack.
Pull down the blind for me, please.
And Teddy Sheringham looked at Ozzy and said, well, what about the defence? Oh, we'll work on that later. That was his whole attitude. I'm sure you've watched a load of Tottenham from the back in the day, back in the 70s and 80s. Do you
I've started.
Do you feel a bit? Do you wish that we were like that now, or are you happy like with Conte, how he's got the team playing, or not playing well but picking up results, or do you look back and think, I wish you could manage like the team in the 70s and 80s? Which would you prefer?
Well, I mean, I would probably say like a hybrid version of the team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Take some from the past and take some from now. But I mean, look, all due respect to the teams of the past, our history is made because of them. So big up to everybody that's ever been associated in our past. but I guess I can consider myself a new breed of fan. I've been a fan since 2010. Not too long, not too little. Um, I like the way this club is going now. I would not want to see it a different way just because um, I don't. you guys might have, but I've never seen a team like this that has the freaking cojones that we're getting. Has a has a manager like Antonio Conte. Excuse me. Now and I'm not trying to compare the our coaches, but I'm just saying the history of me being a Spurs fan. This guy is a savage. This guy is a beast. This guy's a warrior. So I would not have it differently. Um, Although the teams in the past that you guys refer to have won plenty of trophies, and I'm forever indebted to them for that reason. I just wish my eyes can see the glory of lifting up a European Cup, could see them lifting up an FA Cup, could see them winning the Premiership, and so I'm very hopeful and I'm very ecstatic and eager too for the future to see what's in store for us
Hang on
Tottenham
there, Leo.
fans.
Hang on. There you go. Your wish is your command. There you go. There's us
Yeah.
lifting the European Cup. There you go, Leo.
Do you know one thing I just
I
say?
want that one with the big ears. The one with the big ears.
Yeah.
No, I want the Premiership. I want the Premiership.
But do you
Yeah,
know
for
something?
sure, for sure.
I'm open to correction on this, but to show you how much foreign players have influenced the game in the last 30 or 40 years, as far as I can remember, between 1957 or 58 and 1981, no foreign player won an FA Cup medal. There's a guy called Bert Troutman playing for Man City in 1957, was the last one to win it before Ozzy Ardiles and Ricky Villa in 1981. Can you imagine saying that now? Can you imagine saying that now?
Was he, Philip?
He was German, yeah.
Yeah, he was German, yeah.
He was a German goalkeeper. He broke his neck in the
He
final.
broke his neck in the
That's
final,
right.
yeah. That's
And
right.
played
played
on,
on.
might I add.
Yeah,
And
played
played
on.
and played for the whole match.
Can you imagine a player now playing on with a broken neck? Because there was no substitutes in those days, so that's why he had to play on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that just shows you
real quick,
the
lads. Real quick, lads. Did you talking about having the foreign players and everything like that? Did you guys happen to notice that the front six of Wolverhampton's front six were all Portuguese players?
There's seven Portuguese players
So-
on the team, yeah. That's right. The
Yeah.
goalkeeper-
Also there today, Ronaldo was at Tottenham today. The Brazilian,
I saw that
original
too.
The original
The proper
R.
The
Ronaldo.
R9. Yeah.
The real Ronaldo, not
Yeah.
the one that goes all the trouble.
You can see why Wolves play such intricate football. It's that Portuguese style football.
They're very technical. Very technical.
Very technical. Like they in that first half, like the way they passed it around. If they, like I said, if they had a really top class striker, even better than Jimenez, they could have got a lot of goals yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, true. Yeah, absolutely.
I just got to go through some of these comments. Commit. Big up, Ellie. Me and Philip were wondering what you were doing. I mean, Philip thought you were at home with your cup of cocoa. I said you were out partying at Tiger in Leicester Square, but you've now got back.
She's on the lash.
She said, just got back from the brilliant night out, lads. Just going to watch as my girls are here with me. Big up, Ellie. And she also says, I love what William is saying as Dyer turns his back to the left and to the right. It's a bit like doing that to the left, to the right. He's dancing to Beyonce. Dyer, that's what he's doing. To the left, to the right by the Lommocks when running back to defend. First rule of good defending: do not turn your back on an attacking player. That's true. And she also says, "Hey, Leo and William, big up, lads. I went to see Sister Act today, but we can't. We've got Kane act of being lethal in front of goal. Thank God we have Harry. Yeah, and I've got a bit on Harry later on before we finish. Simon from Premier Hotspurs TV, big up Simon, says, evening guys, hope you're all well. What are some of these fans moaning about? It's 7 points on the board against 3 teams we lost to last season, and that is progress in my eyes. I agree with you 100% on that. And Wilton McDonald, welcome. You've got to a stream at last. This poor man, every time we finish, he always puts in the comments, I've missed it. So Wilton, big up, you're here. Says, good evening, lads. And he says, I have not seen the game today. I don't watch them live since they went on that run to the end of the season. He mentioned this in the chat. He stopped watching Tottenham and they haven't lost. So he refuses to watch the game and then watches it on the recording later. after the match is finished. So
Very good.
Big up Wilton. Big up
Big up.
Wilton. Sacrificing for us.
Yeah, he says very happy so far. Yeah, we're all very happy. And Paul Brown says, remember that the THFC fan base tend to look on the past through tinted glasses. I would agree with you on that. I think it's good to look back, but I don't look. We look back because we want to be like we were before, and I think it's always to take past. And then she says, Philip the Godfather, looking on the bright side of life. I do love your positive take on things. You're a ray of sunshine.
Oh, no, I don't know about that. I reckon, what's the point of being negative when you're sitting second in the league?
Exactly.
You know.
I mean, I go with you, William. Then I go with you, Leo. Then you, William. Are you happy with 7 points from the first 3 games? I'm, as Simon says, we've beaten the teams. We're unbeaten against the teams that beat us last season. I mean, what's good? I mean, second in the league. We're unbeaten. You know, the title that's ours for the taking, isn't it?
Yeah. Look, guys, we started this season on par with everybody else at 0 points. There's teams that have not won yet. There's teams that have not lost yet. So we're doing our part. The most important thing is making points up from last season. Like Philip said, we're picking up the points that we dropped last season. That's a good sign. That's a good sign, you guys. I'm not worried at all with the amount of points. I'm happy with the points we have. I'm actually very happy with the points we have because, like I just alluded to, and you guys have alluded to earlier, these are points that we didn't have last season, and these are points that are helping us, minimize that gap between us and the people that were above us, and it's helping us put cushion in between the teams that were below us. So yeah, second place out of 3 games. I mean, yeah, I'm not going to get ahead of myself at all. But let's give credit where credit's due. They're well-deserved points. It's better than being on a goose egg, honestly.
Yeah, it would be. And you, William, 7 points. You've got to be happy with that.
Oh, of course, you have to be happy with that start. But I'm not happy with the performances.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Which
fair enough.
You have to analyze it as it is. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's all well and good having those. And I'm a great advocate. If you don't play well, you have to win the games. It's important. You get a point to win the game. But, you can't keep playing bad because you will come unstuck.
Yeah.
Somewhere down along the line, Conte needs to start playing Basuma. He needs to start playing Perisic. He needs to start playing Longley. He needs to start integrating these players quicker because some of the players we have on that field are just not good enough. And they will, like they done last year, they will end up costing us big time. And the problem for me is in that central defence. Yeah, that's the real big problem.
Yeah, I think that is like it's 99% of the fan base has worked that one out. That we have to get another centre back in.
But most of us, Philip, have worked that out years ago.
I know. What I mean? But again, the thing about it is, I think I have great faith in Paratici. I have no doubt he's tried to get Bastoni. He's tried to get we don't know who else he's been trying to get. He's been trying to get quite a few centre backs. He will get one. Because if we're pulling our hair out here wanting a centre back, you can be sure Conte is on the phone to him every 10 minutes. Well, have you got me anybody yet? Have you got me a centre back yet? With 10 days left of the transfer window, we will get one. Absolutely, we'll get one.
I don't think it's just a centre back either, Philip. I think he's looking like if they're looking at players like Milinkovic, Savic as well for midfield, because I think he still thinks he's a little bit light in there,
Oh, no, a midfielder is also required, but I think the centre back is a priority. If we had to take a choice, either or, centre back will come in, not the midfielder. But just to go on about the 7 points there, I've seen people comparing, saying it's not good enough. We had 9 points at this time last season, and I nearly banged my head off the wall. Look what we had in charge of us last season when we got the 9 points.
Yeah.
And look what happened.
Here's one for you, Philip. I remember going on the Irish Hotspur last year when Nuno was, was put in charge. And I said to David, I said, even if they get a good start, this guy is completely shit. Yeah. And we will fail badly. And I remember everybody was saying, we got 9 points. We're doing so well. And I was like, but if you remember those 3 games, the performances weren't great.
No,
They were actually very, very poor, and we were very lucky to get those wins.
Yeah.
And,
It came back to bite
what
us in the
happened?
end.
It came unstuck very badly.
the wheels came off the bus on the Crystal Palace game,
Yeah.
and that's where it went
Yeah,
down.
that was the one.
That.
But I'm just thinking here, if Manchester United, by some freak, managed to beat Liverpool on Monday night, we'll be 5 points ahead of Liverpool. Work that one out.
Yeah.
But
Can
the
I
difference,
just say-
but the difference is with this Tottenham team under Conte, there's a huge difference. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They
There's
do have the fight,
resilience.
and they do have the grit.
There's a
But
resilience.
you look at the games last season. Look at Leicester, 2-1 down in the 91st minute, and we win the game. Man
Yeah.
City brought back to 2-each in the 90th minute. We win the game. Watford goal in the 91st minute. That team is going till the very, very end. It does not know when to say die.
Yeah.
Which I can't remember that being in a Spurs team for a long, long time.
No, I mean you look. I mean, big up to David. David is the Irish Hotspur. Please, everyone, get over there. Get your subscriptions. Get get your memberships for the fan shows on a Monday and a Friday. It's one of the best YouTube channels on YouTube, apart from our channel. I think we're level. We're level with the Irish Hotspur. I'm sure Dave won't say no to that. But
I've got a 9-year-old in here kicking around a football inside the house.
that fair play to him.
Sign him up.
Yeah.
Sign him up.
Fair play to him until he breaks something, Dermot.
And then you just shrug your shoulders, William, and say he's only young.
Oh yeah. He'll pay for the damage.
I think it's
Put the
time
ball away.
I think it's time that we congratulated Arsenal on winning the league after 3 matches, though.
Yeah,
You know,
we
I
can
think
just
it's
pack
in a
up
way-
now and just
I
go
think
home
we just
now.
hand them over
Did
the
they
cup.
win again? Did they win again, Arsenal?
Yeah, 3-0.
Yeah.
The fact that they don't play
All
a
right.
team in the top, they don't play a team in the top 8 until the 1st of October when we play them.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
But Piers Morgan is going off his rocker saying we're back, we're going to win something this season. You know,
Oh,
they played
great.
lovely.
Oh, yeah. But I want
Palace,
that. I want
Leicester, and
that.
Bournemouth. Palace, Leicester, and Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Whereas we played Southampton, Wolves, and Chelsea.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of the other results, so I'm assuming that Leicester have lost again.
Yes, Southampton beat them in
Yeah.
the last minute. Yeah.
Enough
And-
said.
A big up, Dave. Though, thanks for tuning in, and I hope
They'll
you
get
got that-
relegated this year, Leicester.
I hope
Yeah,
that
actually,
keeps
we're
working
going
for you.
over to the Leicester game in September, so let's hope that there's a big result for us that day.
Yeah.
And big up from the lads and United Spurs of America as well. Winton McDonald's put here. I don't know who wants to answer this question. It's up to anyone who wants to. 9 points last year. By November, we were mid-table. Only so-called Tottenham supporters can complain. Why they have a world-class manager? Who wants
There's no
to
need
answer
to
that?
answer
Philip
that.
or
It's-
William?
The question says it all. It's absolutely
Yeah.
spot on. Spot
Yeah.
on.
I mean, yeah, you can't say much to that, Dermot.
No,
No, it's
that
right.
is that is question. I'm starring that as question of the stream.
It's a
bang
question.
on.
It's a question that answers itself.
Yeah, it
basically.
is.
Yeah.
And we got Tala Ahmed, who's a new subscriber. Big up, everyone. Big up, Tala. Thank you for tuning in and thank you for subscribing. And Simon puts it, also our fan base worrying over Arsenal. Let me tell you, they haven't got a strong depth and wait to win 2 games a week. He's actually making a very good point here. A week comes around. There will seem to meltdown in their fan base.
Dermot, me and Luke sat down. Luke knows nothing about Arsenal, you know. So we sat down and we watched episode 7 and 8. And every time I'll see if he'll come on because he kept turning to me going, "Daddy, what's that guy's problem? Why does he keep screaming at those men?" And then he brought out the light bulb.
Yeah.
Luke, do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
He brought out the light bulb and Luke turned to me and he goes, "Gobshite."
I mean, the thing I've laughed at most, right? They're in the dressing room after loss. I think it's Newcastle, and he says they might lose to Norwich. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. And he walked out, yeah.
Yeah, that was a funny piece, huh?
Oh, God.
I tell
Yeah.
you one thing. I have found that bit of that program funny as hell. I have.
Oh, he was brilliant.
I mean, imagine playing "You Never Walk Alone" on loudspeakers.
I'm sorry,
get them
no,
tuned up for Liverpool.
but the light bulb got it for me. Like, that really got me. Like, and he's coming up and he's shining it in the players' faces, and I'm like, my son has to watch this. You know what I mean?
Oh Lord! Oh, that was so funny. Oh my God.
Anyway, that's enough.
Look,
That's enough about
I
Arsenal.
wouldn't be threatened by Arsenal in any way at all.
No,
They
that's all.
like someone said earlier that their squad depth is not very good. So once they start playing European football, you watch the injuries pile up, and if they lose Jesus, they're in big trouble again. You know.
Let's hope they get joined against some team from Azerbaijan or somewhere that's a 7-hour flight from London. You know.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Like we had to put up with.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I tell you one thing. Let's stop talking about them people down the road because they're like the old people home. They need to put them into the old.
Sorry for starting it.
Yeah. We've got Tom THFC. He says +7 points because we lost them. We lost them 3 games last week. We're not playing well at the minute. We will get better. Of course, we will. Ellie's put Perisic assist Kane goal. I believe. I mean, that flick on by Perisic. What a flick!
It took the entire Wolves defense out of it. It was brilliant. Brilliant.
What I don't understand is why wasn't Perisic taking the free kicks from the left hand side, or the corner kicks from the left hand side?
I couldn't figure that one out now. Couldn't figure that out.
Why when he can put a ball right on the money every time, like whenever he put the ball into the box, you just felt like we could score a goal. Why was Son taking the corners? And they were poor. Like, let's be real. The corners that Son took were poor. Why aren't we utilising a man that can put a ball in from anywhere? Like, you should be utilising that to your best ability, shouldn't you?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Jesus, we're better behaved, lads.
We're
The Queen's
in trouble
coming.
now.
We're in trouble now, yeah. She's come to give us a bollocking now.
Put away the drinks and the cigars.
I just wanted to say that from Ellison Edson. So THC till I die. Hi Dermot. Hi panel. Boys, I was at the game today. Tough match. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. I really hope you enjoyed it. Miss Ellie. Miss Ellie?
Yeah.
That sounds like something out of Dallas. Miss Ellie.
So we're calling you JR next.
Yeah, probably. No, that's JR down the bottom. That's Leo. So anyway. Ellie, how are you?
I'm all right. I'm listening to everybody. Everybody's got good points to make. You know, you gotta take it with a pinch of salt sometimes because we've got 7 out of 9.
Yeah,
it's not bad, but the thing is, I agree with William about the performances. They've been very, very poor, apart from Southampton in the second half.
No.
Did he break your telly?
Can you hear me?
Yes, he just hit the TV.
Yeah, we can hear you, Ellie. We're second in the league. You got lovely stairs, Ellie, I have to say.
I know, but I can't really hear you. It's a lot crackling. Let me try and get my earphones.
All right,
I
then,
can't
Ellie.
really hear you that well.
Guys, I mean, again today, I mean, this is what I want to talk about. Hill. Now, again, he was named on the bench. Again, he was named on the bench today. I'll start with you, Philip. Is Gil likely to stay for the rest of the season, or can you see him being loaned out?
I think Valencia are sniffing around him.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to see him stay, but I feel he won't be here in 10 days' time. He'll be gone. I think so. Yeah. It's a pity because the guy obviously has a lot of talent. Now, whether he's physically strong enough for the Premiership is a question that's been asked since he came. So I don't know whether it's a loan or a sell to Valencia, but I think he'll be saying bye-bye to us very shortly, regretfully.
I think so too. And you, Leo, do you think Gil will stay? He's been named on the bench for the first 3-4 games, for the first 3 games. He's very talented. David likes to call him Gil Messi. I think he has an awful lot of talent. Can you see him being loaned out again, or do you think he may stay for this year and be amongst the first team to get experience?
Honestly, I think I want to see him stay, but at the same time, I don't want to have his performance hindered. You
Yeah.
know, I just don't want him to rot away on the bench. So if there is a loan, maybe that does get triggered. I'm all up for it. I think Conte is just hesitant to get rid of another player
Mhm.
until one he either brings one in or gets something some other players prove that they're willing to take that spot.
Yeah.
I think the same could. I mean, I don't mean to go off topic, but I think the same could be the same could be said for Mate Pape Sarr. Why
Yeah.
haven't we loaned him out if he's not in our plans? You know, and I think I heard somewhere that like
True.
Conte is just hesitant to get rid of these players until he has either an adequate substitution already in house or
Yeah.
bring in somebody that's going to be able to fill those boots. But
Mhm.
yeah, I agree. I think the kid has a lot of potential. I would love nothing more than to see this kid do phenomenal things at Tottenham. I would
Yeah.
hate for him to go to another club, be that on loan or a permanent transfer, and just light it up like we know he's going
Mhm.
to. He needs to bulk up. Now, is that necessary? Maybe not. But he definitely has skill. He's definitely a baller. I've even heard him referred to as the as a mini Cruyff, you
Mhm.
know, over there in Spain. People really like their Cruyff, and they've actually really they see a lot out of him. So that's got to be a good sign. And I'm glad he's on our team. I would hate, to, like I said, I would hate to see him leave, and I would hate to see him go flourish somewhere else where we could have had that talented young man on our squad.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with United States Spurs of America. Big up Jacob and that. Big up lads. I love watching your channel, and we'll have to get you on here one day for on the stream here one day to get you in, lads, because we'd love to hear your thoughts on Spurs. I mean, they put so many games coming up. We will need the bodies, and I agree with that. I think
Yeah.
we need everyone that we need. Ellie, it's a shame how Dead Spence is being treated already. It's going to affect him. He's a talented player. So is Brian Gill. Do you think it's going to take time for these younger players to come into the first team, or do you know is Conte treating them correctly? Ellie, we can't hear you. Can't hear you. Right. Well, at least getting herself sorted out. Do you want to take that, Philip or William?
I can take it, yeah.
Ellie, you there? Can't hear you, Ellie. Can't
She's
hear
away
you.
with the fairies, Matt.
No, she can't hear her. Can't.
She's giving it socks, though.
Oh, she is giving it something, but we just can't hear her. We can't hear you, Ellie. You're not muted. No, you're not muted. Do you want to take it, William? Then I go to Philip. I'll
Sorry,
message Ellie.
what was the question? Sorry, Dermot.
I can't remember the question myself now.
Was that long?
That's how much this show's gone off the rails. I mean, you even got a dog on the pitch.
I think you were talking about Brian Hill
Yeah.
and Papa
And
Matazar.
oh, that was it. Jed Spence. That was it.
Yeah. Look, they're not. Those guys are not going to get into the team.
No.
You know, you're going to you're going to see bare glimpses of them.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't think Jed Spence was a Conte signing anyway.
No.
And that's definite. You know what I mean? So Conte is not interested in playing him.
No.
He really
You
isn't.
think that was a contest. That was a Levy signing. Do you think?
I believe he's signing 100%. Yeah, even how long it took. You know, Paratici wasn't even involved in it, so it's definitely not a Conte signing. I think Conte knows now that he needs a couple of more solid, proper players in that team to bring them forward a bit more. But yeah, the likes of Papa Matazar, Hill, you know, and I'm sure they're talented players, but
Yeah.
if he wants to win trophies, he can't rely on players like that. They're not bred in yet. They're not ready for the Premiership, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's
So-
I mean, the Premier Hotspurs put here, guys. I'm this for Premier Hotspur. I'm hearing Paratici is clearing the deadwood. He's lining up one or two big signings before the windows closes. So we will see what's happening. Philip, you've already said this. Ellie, can we hear you? Ellie? No, Ellie's gone.
No, she's gone. She went
Ellie.
off, Matt.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, you sort of agree with that, don't you? You think Paratici's going to bring one or two big signings for the end of the
absolutely,
window?
it's absolutely about 100%. He's going to do it, and now to see that kind of okay, you never know till it actually happens. But there is something brewing in the background here.
Yeah.
And we'll do our traditional late business on the transfer deadline day, and hopefully it's a centre back, and hopefully it's a creative midfielder.
Yeah.
And that's fine. That's fine, Philip, because we've already done so much early on in the window. So I don't mind us getting in.
Oh no, I don't
in
mind.
late.
I don't mind as long as it's not, as long as we don't leave it too late that it's too late to register the player, as has happened.
As long as it's not someone like fucking NJ or some crappy signing like that, then I'm fine.
No, we're not. There's actually a new rule gone down in Spurs. Nobody with the letter N apostrophe is ever going to sign for Spurs again.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, Ellie,
we can hear you.
Hey,
bless you.
Yes.
You were giving it a gospel, or we couldn't hear words you were saying. God love you.
I know, don't matter. Anyway, I was going to say.
Dermot was saying, Ellie, that you must have been on the drink.
No, I don't drink. I'm teetotal. I'm not very good with alcohol. I tend to fall in my plate if I have alcohol, so I'm off it.
I won't tell you what I usually do then, Ellie.
No. But I was just going to comment on, I don't think those other players, Jed Spence, Brian Hill, Papa Sarr, will get a look in unless the other players are not performing. When you think about it, Emerson's not been too bad. He's been one of our better players out of the proper players that have been on show. You know, so
defensively, he's very good, Ellie.
Defensively, going forward, Jed Spence will give us more because he can beat a player. The thing is, does Conte fancy him? If he fancied him, he would have put him in front of Emerson, wouldn't he? So I don't think he actually fancies him yet. But I think what he'll do with him, he'll blood him in the lesser games and the cup games. That's what I think he's just to have a look at him to see if he can cut the mustard. And if he can't, then he soon will be exiled, won't he?
Yeah.
Because they'll soon find out. Because Conte knows, doesn't he? He knows if a player's up to it or not.
Leo, we've got Carl Simpson, so I'd like you to answer this, and then Philip, and then Ellie, then you, William. Get your thoughts on this. Emerson offering nothing today, so Spence is going on loan, hopefully. It means a world-class right wing back. I mean, for me personally, Leo, I think Emerson, I agree with Ellie, he's done all right. I mean, going forward is just like winning, it's like picking the lottery numbers. It's either you're going to get the numbers correct or you're going to fall fat in your place. Defensively, I think he's improved. But I got on his back a lot last season, but I'm sort of warming to him. How do you feel about Emerson? And do you agree with Carl Simpson that if Emerson offered nothing today, that we are going to get this world-class right wing back in before the window closes?
Well, I believe that Emerson has held his weight. He's held his own. I can't really think of many mistakes that he's made that led to goals. He's staying on his feet a lot more, so that's a plus. Emerson, when he stays on his feet, he's a better defender. And let's be real, he offers a lot more defensively than he does offensively. He's getting up to the final third. We are getting more corner kicks due to his crosses being blocked. But on the same side of the token, you guys, that offers a different aspect of the game that we long for. The set pieces. We're scoring goals on corners. So if Emerson, if he's contributing defensively, he's getting up to the final third of the pitch, and his crosses are being deflected and they go out for corners and we score, to me, that's positive production. You know, it might not be his cross that made the goal, but it was his cross, his intent, his ability to get up there and put the ball in that led to a goal. Now these are hypothetical situations, but you can see where I'm going with this. As far as would I have him over? Would I have? Just to cut that short, I think Emerson right now offers the most at that right back position, at the right wing back. I'm more comfortable with him defensively, and I'm almost inclined to say I'm more comfortable with him offensively on that right wing back until Jed Spence then comes to. Then I will definitely entertain that idea of having Jed Spence integrated into the team. I don't see him at practice, so I don't know exactly what's going on. I know he was touted as being the next big thing. We spent a fair amount of money on there. So to see him loaned out right away, I think would definitely just be like, we took a step backwards. We took a step backwards in signing him. I say we keep him. God forbid something happens to Emerson. God forbid something happens to Doherty. We have Spence. You know, and if all goes wrong, if he doesn't trust Spence yet, we have Ivan Perisic that could play on the right side as well. So let's just keep this young lad with us. I'm a fan of him. I want to see him play. I really do. But like I said, I don't see him at practice every day. I'm yet to really see any game time of him besides the little clips we've had of him playing in the preseason game. But right now, I really feel, Carl, that Emerson does. He did offer a lot today, he does offer a lot defensively, and he's contributing offensively to you guys. Just stay on your feet, Emerson, and we'll be good.
Philip, you were shaking your head there.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way Jed Spence is going out on loan. Absolutely no, not a chance. Yeah, William, I take your point that he's not a Conte signing. Up to a point, I'll agree with you, but I would also say if Conte didn't want him with the club, there's no way we would have bought him. He's been bought for a reason, whatever that reason is. But he's not going out on loan because that would be absolutely, we've already bought the full back.
I don't know, Philip. Philip, just not to cut in on you, but look, Levy still has a big say at this club. So don't ever think that Conte has full control, because once Levy and Inick are still there, he still has a big say in what goes on too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's not nearly as strong as it was a year ago.
No, definitely. They've lost that control that they used to have. But I just think that whole Spence signing is definitely from the Levy side. It's not from Conte.
But I also know that if Conte had went to Daniel Levy and said, under no circumstance are you signing Jed Spence, Levy would not go ahead and do it, because Conte would just say, right, I'm off. I'm going. You've broken your agreement with me, and I'm not staying with a man that breaks his agreement.
I agree with that. I think also because Paratici has changed the whole youth system, I think they're not afraid to get in these young players. Because if you actually look at it, the likes of Papa Matasar, Gil, like, they're not selling these players; they're loaning them out. So they obviously see something in them. Plus, with the Adoji signing as well and loaning him back, you can see that they are investing in the youth as well. So I'm not saying Jed Spence can't get into the Tottenham side. I just personally don't think it will be this season. Because
I think
there's bigger fish to fry for Tottenham. And I don't think Conte's going to sit around wanting to breed in young players into a squad that he wants to go and win things with. You know what I mean?
I'd be totally amazed.
And that's a fair shout. That's a fair shout, William.
I'm quite disappointed if we sign another right wing back ahead of a centre back.
I'd be horrified, to be honest with you. Because if you look at it, all right, the big games, okay? So if you look at yesterday's match, actually, especially the second half, when Emerson Royale gets the ball, he gives it to Kulu. Kulu is the one that makes the crosses, and he makes the chances for that Tottenham team. So I'm not worried about the right side, to be quite honest with you. I'm not worried about the left side once we have Perisic in there.
Yeah.
I am happy that Emerson Royale can actually defend. You know, there was one moment there where Sanchez made an absolute hames of a ball, and the guy got by him, and Emerson Royale came flying in and cleaned it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like when it comes to against the bigger teams like Liverpool and Manchester City, where you're not going to have much of the ball, and you're going to be sitting back, and you need that defensive side of you, I think that's why Conte likes him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He doesn't have
does,
to rely on
obviously, yeah.
Emerson Royale getting crosses into the box, because let's be honest, that's not going to happen.
No, all he has to do is pass to Kulu.
Yes.
Get the ball to
Yes.
Kulu, and we're fine.
Yeah.
Don't do anything above your station, Emerson, because you
Yes.
can't do it. We've seen
No,
it time
don't.
and time again. But
Although-
defensively, I agree with you. He's very good.
Although I would say, Ellie, that when he wins a corner and Perisic is on the field, it's as good as a goal. Let's
I
be
know.
honest.
And plus,
Yeah.
the
I mean, he
throw-ins
set
as
up
a
well.
good
against
shout.
goal
It's a
today,
good
I
shout.
believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We now have long
Perisic
throw-ins
who
as well.
assisted today, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you
Yes,
guys?
you see?
Did you guys happen to notice how when we were moving the ball up on the right side, it was actually Kulu that was more towards the wing, and Emerson kind of tucked in
Yes.
further in
Yes.
infield.
Yes.
That's what he does.
Yeah, that's good.
That's
Stay there
so
and
that
give
he
that
can
ball out to
recover.
Kulu.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and he's very good at recovery because he's a very fit lad. You know, he's
Yeah.
only 22, 23, isn't he, the lad? He can recover
He
like
runs and runs.
Walker used to
Yeah.
do.
yeah.
Yeah, he runs
Yeah.
forever.
He played good today.
can't-
He played good today.
You can't doubt the guy's commitment. The thing is, the quality is not quite what we want. We need
Right.
better quality.
But going
But-
forward, Ellie, it's not. But
Yeah.
it is defensively. Like, I can't
I
argue
agree.
with that, man.
What I mean is we need a better overall quality player.
Yeah.
You know, somebody who's defensive and attacking wise. Then we've got the
Yeah.
best of both worlds, William. You see?
Yeah.
Look, I get that, but, you know, sometimes you have to make do with what you have, too.
Yeah, true. But I'm just saying for the future, you know, if we're going to progress and we're going to challenge, we are already challenging that, actually, because we've got 7 out of 10. 7 out of 9, sorry. So Arsenal are the only ones who are beating us at the moment, aren't they? So, yeah,
Right,
that'll come crashing down. Don't worry.
It will. Right. I just want to get everyone's let me take that off. Where is it? Yeah. Everyone's playing ratings for today. I'll start with Ellie, then I go to you, Philip, then you, William, and then you, Leo. Just your playing ratings out the team.
It's not worth asking me because I didn't see the game. So
Okay then. Oh,
we'll
start with you.
it's not
Philip,
worth
and then
because I won't be able to give an honest opinion.
Just make them up, Ellie.
Lloris,
I want to
7.
hear what you guys say.
He didn't have much to do. Lloris gave him a 7.
Yeah.
Sanchez 7. Dyer 5. Davies 6. Emerson 7. Højbjerg 7. Bentancur 6. Perisic 8. Kulusevski 6. Kane 7 and Son 5.
Yeah, I heard Son had the stinker again.
William.
Yeah.
Lloris 6. Sanchez 4. Dyer 5. Davies 5. Yeah. Emerson Royale, I'll give a 7. Perisic definitely an 8. He was fantastic. Bentancur was very good in the second half, so I'll give him a 7. Højbjerg, probably the same, 7, 6, 7.
I'll put the can on, please.
Son, 4. He was poor for me, to be honest with you. Kane, I would give 7. And Kulusevski, probably about a 6 as well.
And Leo?
Yeah, so I'm gonna go Hugo with the 6, Sanchez with the 7, Eric Dyer with a 6, Davies with a 6, Royale, I'll give him a 6, Bentancur, I'll do a 7, Højbjerg, I'm gonna do a 6, Ivan Perisic, I'm gonna do an 8, Kulusevski, I guess he did good. I'll give him a 7. I'm gonna go with the 8 for Harry Kane. And I'm sorry, Sonny, I'm not hating on you at all, but you know I'm gonna give you a 5-er, a 5.2.
Okay. Toxic Headshot here gives Conte 10 out of 10, which we all give him that. For me, Hugo a 7, Sanchez a 5, Dyer a 5, David's a 5, Emerson a 6, Holberg a 7, Bentancur a 6, Perisic an 8.5, Kovacic a 7, Harry Kane. I'm going to give him an 8 because he scored our 1,000th goal in the Premier League. He's 250th and got his winner today. I give him I give him a set 8 actually. Sonny, I would give a 6. So that's mine thing. And then this is here, Conte and Harry Kane. After Harry Kane headed home Spurs' 1,000th home Premier League goal. It was also Kane's 250th goal for Spurs and his 185th goal in the Premier League. The most a player has scored for one team in the competition. And then Conte was saying on Conte and Harry Kane on Kane, Harry is for us a player who has to make the difference. We try to exploit him to give him the possibility to score. For me, the big surprise about Harry is not only the football aspect. So Conte, full of praise there for Harry Kane.
Yeah.
There. Philip, I know you got to go very quickly. We've got Nottingham Forest away next Sunday. What are you hoping to see different, and what's your score predictions? We will do a pre-match game, but what's your hopes for next Sunday?
I watched a bit of the Forest game against Everton today, and they scored late, and we looked like they were going to win the match, but Everton came at them in the last 10 minutes and got an equaliser. They looked a bit raw now, to be honest. They've got some good players in the team, but I think that they can be easily got at. I don't think defensively they're strong enough to hold out if we can get our game on next week, our attacking game on. So I want us to go up there and dominate the game from day one, from minute one. And I want us to go up there and do what we did to Leeds last season.
Yeah.
3-0 up in about the first 20 minutes and then, coast it. So I'm going for a 2-0 win for Spurs. And
they'll offer a lot more resistance though, Philip.
Yeah.
They may well do, but I don't think the defense quality wise. I mean, Everton.
No, they're not. Yeah. No,
made a lot of chances today, and Everton.
Everton
I think
poor.
Let's put it like this: if we don't win up there, it'd be very, 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 very.
Yeah.
I think as well. Anyway, we play better away from home.
Yeah. Sometimes it depends. I think we're more relaxed away from home because we're away from most of the
only thing we're worried about next
fans.
week is this is the biggest team that's come to Nottingham Forest since 1999. We're the biggest match since 1999. So, and again, like West Ham, this will be like their cup final. So we'll have to be wary. We should have too much for them.
It's good to see them back, though, because I grew up with Nottingham Forest in the league. Yeah.
I like Nottingham Forest. They're a nice club.
I just want to go through some of Conte's post-match, what he had to say in his post-conference. Are you right to stay on for a bit, Philip, or do you need to go?
A few minutes. Yeah.
Okay. And then with Conte, this is what he was asked on the result. This was to be spot on Conte on the result. This type of game last season, we weren't prepared to find this type of difficulty. We lost 3 games. We lost at home to Southampton, Chelsea, and Wolves, and I was really worried. And then on Perisic, it was the same for the rest of the team. He struggled with the rest. He struggled with the rest of the team in the first half. I have seen the Ivan Perisic I know for Inter. I was very pleased with his impact. So that's a good signing. Also, this is Perisic's Perisic for Tottenham versus Wolves. Most duels won 7, most tackles won 7, most chances created 3, most assists 1. Yeah. So and the last bit on Romero, we read that out. We read the Gill out as well on replacing Gill. Conte says, I was very clear during the press conference before the game. The squad is this. If someone goes, get out of the way, Alistair Gold. I don't want the comment come up. I'm very
stop infiltrating.
The squad is this. If someone goes, someone has to come in. At THFC, he says you have to speak with the club. So for me, that sounds like Gill's not going anywhere, personally. But listen, I want to thank everyone who's come on tonight. I've just got a few more. Shamu, big up Shamu. He says Perisic was awesome. Premier TV says drop some for Richarlison next week. I think we will look into that in the pre-match show coming up to the Forest. And Wilton McDonald, the ratings is low considering we won and a clean sheet. That tells me that we're still playing below par and unbeaten. I'm full of optimism about an improvement will come. Yeah, Wilton, it will come.
Yeah.
And Toxic Headshot said Romero will be back for Forest. He will. Listen, guys, thank you for everyone for coming on tonight. Ellie, I know you're the queen of this channel. Do you want to plug another channel? Is there anyone you like to plug?
Yeah, I like to plug the Free Spurs boys because they're lovely. I love those boys.
Okay.
They're such a good channel as well. Very fun, right? And obviously Mile High Hotspur down with Leo and Parker.
Yeah,
fantastic
well, we're going to let
channel.
we'll get him to plug his own channel in a minute so he can do a big plug in a minute.
And also, I've got to plug David's channel, the Irish Hotspur. He probably doesn't need plugging now because he's up there with the elite. He's always been up there, regardless of how many subscribers he's got, because he's fantastic. I love the boy, and I love Jack as well. They're both brilliant lads. Love them.
Yeah.
And you, Philip, I mean, apart from finding you in here with Queen Ellie as well, my two brilliant co-hosts who I'm so grateful to have on this channel, is there anyone you'd like to plug and where can people find you?
Well, again, the only other channel I'll be on is actually David's, with the Irish Hotspur. So I kind of keep to those two. So,
David Harris.
Although I'm open to offers for other ones. But, I mean, we'll just say in Irish, keep it Irish. So
that's right. Keep it Irish, I tell you.
Guaranteed Irish.
The link's actually for Dave's channel is in the chat. Everyone hit that link and subscribe and get your memberships over to Dave because he does a brilliant channel with Jack Konecki. And Philip, you also have your own YouTube channel, don't you? For
those of you that don't know, I play in a band in Dublin on a Tuesday night. I'm a drummer, and what I do is I usually try and film the jam session and put it up on YouTube. So if you look up Philip Brady, Darky Kelly's, you'll see about 85 videos. I'm not in I'm in most of them. You can't see me, but you'll hear me.
We have the Ringo Starr of the Beatles on our team.
Whereabouts in Dublin is that, Philip?
It's in Temple Bar, just beside Dame Street and Christchurch.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it's
next time I'm over, I'll come in and see you.
Oh man, that'd be great. That'd be great. Yeah, it's a great night. It's a brilliant night on the Tuesday night. It's packed out.
I used to live in Dublin for 11 years.
Oh, good man.
Nice one.
Yeah. I've seen the inside of a lot of those pubs. I've seen the inside of a lot of those pubs.
You're not bad.
I've seen the footpath. I've also seen the face of the footpath outside them as well.
we would do an after midnight show with William about his time coming out of the pubs in Dublin.
Midnight with William.
Yeah, it will be for 18s only, and it is X-rated, so swearing will be permitted. And Leo,
I could tell the story, Dermot, that would make the hairs grow on your chest.
Yeah. Bring your eye mask.
You've been telling me a few already. Leo, you are our sister channel over in Denver in America. Go on, give yourself a big plug.
Go on the Mile High Hotspur.
Yeah, well, first I just want to take this time to tell you guys I appreciate every moment I'm able to share with you guys. I appreciate any chance I get to hop on your channel, and I appreciate any chance you guys get to hop on my channel. My name is Leo. I go by Leo Coys. I'm part of Colorado Spurs. I'm a diehard Tottenham Hotspur fan. I have my own YouTube channel called the Mile High Hotspur. You can find us here on YouTube. Mile High Hotspur. For those of you who don't know, we're called the Mile High City because we're 5,280 feet above sea level. So that is exactly 1 mile above sea level. That's why we're called Mile High Hotspur. I definitely would love to have all you guys in the chat come join my channel. If you're into podcasts like this, we offer the same thing. We are the sister channel to this lot here. And it's actually myself and my partner, Parker. We're just two lads that love to talk about Tottenham Hotspur. We have 2 podcasts a week, and it's too good to miss. So we look forward to seeing you guys there.
Yeah.
I'm just getting the link
Well
for your
done.
channel now, Leo, so I can put it into the.
Yeah,
into the
I'm
chat.
gonna I'll also
Subscribe to
subscribe to
Leo's
it, man. I
channel,
don't think I've
everybody.
been to your channel yet.
Yeah,
Thank you,
you've
William.
got
No,
to
you're
check
more than
it out,
welcome.
William. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Leo and William, where can people find you, sir?
You can find me anywhere, Dermot. I'm a rogue. I'm the rogue of the channels.
So basically, you are our Australian leg of this channel, yeah? Is that it?
Yeah.
Well, there's the link.
It's like a kangaroo. He hops from one channel to
Yeah,
the
that's
other.
it. That's it. With no true existence, Ellie. No true
Maybe
existence.
that's
He
what
just
we should
goes
call you, the
wherever.
kangaroo.
I've just taken the liberty there, lads. I put up a link to a YouTube. It's a 20-minute snatch of us playing last Tuesday night. It's in the
Yes, I'm gonna be
THFC Till I
watching
Die
that.
site there. That was
Perfect.
filmed
Nice.
last
What I'll
Tuesday night.
do, I'll post it on TikTok for you as well, Philip.
Oh my God! It's about.
There you go, William.
You're going
There you go,
viral.
Get a
William.
You're
lot of
going
young
viral.
ladies after you then.
Oh
You get a
God!
lot of young ladies after you.
We've put it in the. There we go. That's the link there to see the Ringo Starr of this channel, Fanny's drum.
You're gonna have a look at it and make sure it's a good one.
The cattle of this great country.
He's the
Paddy
godfather
Harnett
of the
says,
drums.
yeah.
The little
Harnett
fella wants
says,
to show
Leo-
you. The little fella wants to show you something, guys.
Yeah, go on.
He wants to show you he's playing with his Titanic.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see him.
Ah,
Oh yeah.
that's so
Isn't
good.
that nice?
He can't break
Wow.
anything then, can he?
Can you rename it Arsenal? We know it'll sink.
Oh Lord. Well, look,
Big up, my man.
right, look,
Give
big
it
up.
time. Give it time, man.
Yeah. Paddy Harnett says, Leo, is that the Colorado Spurs scarf? Yeah, it is, Paddy.
Yeah.
Wilton McDonald, it says, I am
Beautiful.
William II. Big up, Wilton. And we've got that's the link for Philip's channel, showing how brilliant he is. I've watched a bit of Philip playing. He's absolutely fantastic. The band are brilliant. So hit a link on there. That's the link for Mile High Hotspur. Please, everyone go to our sister channel, hit the like, hit the subscription on that channel as well. And that's the link for Dave's channel as well, the Irish Hotspur, for him and Jack Konecki. Please, everyone get over it, hit the like, hit the subscription there. But please,
not
before
worthy.
we go, do it here first. Hit the subscription, hit the like, hit the bell. We're back tomorrow night with a Gary Mabbott special with Izan and Mark Cousins. And I won't be hosting this, but Ellie is. Ellie doesn't know this, but Ellie's now found out that Ellie's now the host for your show tomorrow
That'd
night.
be fantastic. That would be my pleasure.
He was one of my favourite players,
Gary
Gary Mabbott.
Mabbott, my hero.
So we're gonna have Izan doing his bit with what's his name? Mark Cousins. Mark Cousins, and I forgot his name. Mark Cousins and Ellie's hosting.
Mark Mabbott Cousins. Get it right, Dermot. Mark Mabbott Cousins.
I don't know. Are you on tomorrow night, Philip? Or
Mark Mabbott Cousins.
I thought I was. I may not be. I'll let you know tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, Ellie's hosting. I'll be in the background doing everything. I'll give Ellie a crash course how to use StreamYard. But Ellie's your host tomorrow night.
No bother.
So please tune in for that. But please, everyone, like and subscribe. We're on tomorrow at 8 o'clock, Wilton. And Chris, all I'm going to say is one thing. It's not Monday morning yet. You still have time to get barred. My trap will be laid for you. Between now and Sunday evening, I will lay a trap for you, and you will fall into it. Look behind the scenes. So watch yourself, Chris. And William, Chris is calling William the whiskey lover.
Winksy. He's a Winksy lover.
No, I'm actually a rum drinker. I like my rum. A bit of a pirate in me.
Yeah, you're like.
Well, I think he meant Winksy, like Harry Winks. That's what
I think he meant Harry Winks.
Yeah, probably.
Dermot.
No, I'm not.
Can I?
Look, I love Winks. I miss them so much.
Are you crying? Yeah, go on, Leo. Very quickly, sir.
Do you mind if I show my tattoo real fast?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh
yeah,
my God, that's
tattoo.
so cool. Wow.
Ledley
King, number 26. Nice.
Oh God, I wish we had a Ledley King now.
Yeah.
Leo phoned me when he was having that done, so I saw it getting done live.
Do you know what? When I did actually come through my bet, by the way, I did actually get Tottenham tattooed on my arm, so I have honoured my bet. But I was watching Leo get his tattoo done when I was having my done, so I was loving it. But listen, big up everyone. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to this channel. We're back tomorrow. Then we're back next week. We will be doing a Champions League draw stream for the Champions League. We are back with a pre-match show next week. We're back with a post-match show next weekend as well. And I think we've got a Glenn Hoddle show coming up in the next week or so as well to go through the career of the greatest player Spurs of all time, Mr. Glenn Hoddle. Thank you all for watching. Thank you, Ellie, Philip, William. I don't know what William's doing.
We're making breakfast. Sorry, it's Lucas making scrambled eggs here. So
I keep forgetting it's morning for you.
He's just burnt his fingers.
And also, if you're going to watch the fight tonight, enjoy it. I hope Joshua beats music, but enjoy it. Leo, thank you for coming on as well. God bless you all. And we've just got 2 more comments then. Got United Spurs of America. Big up. Have a great weekend. And William.
Okay, Jacob.
I can see the heartbreak.
Okay, Michael.
Shamu was saying it's 9.
Hello, Jacob and Michael.
It's great. It's 9:15 in the morning. I'll take William out there. It's 10:15 in the morning in New Zealand. But big up everyone. We're now going to bounce out of here. Come on, you Spurs. In Conte.
Come on, you Spurs. In Conte we trust.